Hi, my name is Kadin.
What's good, bro? It's Sean.
Nice to meet you, Professor. This is going to be our podcast for this week. We're going to be talking about week 7, and we're going to be talking about it and analyze using our materials. So
Let's get
let's get it
started,
started.
bro. Let's get started, man. I feel like the media is a place where freedom and boundaries are kind of at its limits right now, Um, we want to have free speech in social media, but also, we have to get stopped by the political government side, just trying to like censor a lot of stuff. What are your thoughts about that?
Man, that is a very good question. It's because throughout the news and throughout the current events that's been happening, the news has been playing a big part in how information is being covered.
Mm.
Um, public inf- public opinions have been shaped through how the news been basically like covering these information. So um, they do play a huge role in providing that information in a way that shifts public opinion.
I agree.
And I think that is really important, is because if we don't have like an objective way to like express information, public opinion will be shattered. So I
Yes.
think, in my opinion, it's best if we keep things objective.
What also, like, you talked about specific news outlets or specific events that have happened. Like, what events have happened recently that you feel like the media has strongly changed the perspective of?
Man, not gonna lie, Sean, I think that this news outlet about the current this happened recently in the month of September about the death of Charlie Kirk. It's a very memorial experience for the country, and I feel like it kind of shifted how the First Amendment is proposed, and like how it really did bring like huge amounts of retaliation to those that are expressing their freedom of speech,
Hmm.
to the people that are expressing their ideas, their thoughts
Exactly.
and their insights about stuff. And I feel like the news is trying to they're trying to express information in a way that makes Charlie Kirk look bad.
Hmm.
But at the same time, there's some news outlets, right, that support that supports Charlie Kirk and his influence on the people's lives. So it depends. It varies on perspectives.
Yeah.
Um, there are many cases, right? But Charlie Kirk is one of those examples where it really did shift, like again in what I have said, public opinion
Yes.
about certain topics, various perspectives. So yeah.
Eh,
What are your thoughts about the Charlie Kirk situation, and
yeah.
how did it kind of influence the media,
Yeah.
basically
I just
express
wanted
the
to.
information?
I just wanted to say, yeah, the Charlie Kirk situation, it scared me personally because Charlie Kirk was a man. For those podcasters that are listening right now, Charlie Kirk is a very, very famous leftist side. He's very Republican. He voices and expresses his first right, freedom of speech, out to the press in the most peaceful way possible. He goes out to colleges and he debates with students with words, not with violence, about his ideas and their ideas. And why I feel scared is because he was shot and killed at a campus where he was politically speaking about his freedom of speech and his opinions, yet he was harmed for that. And what I've seen, the after effects of that, on the impact of the media, is that we have two very strong sides that are continuously
Correct.
arguing with each other. And because this had happened to someone on the left side, a lot of the leftists are now, very scared to voice out their opinion because of the dangers of being harmed. And for me, I feel like America as a whole needs needs to secure that freedom of speech more tightly around the media, because believe it or not, government cannot control that. You know, what had happened to Charlie Kirk, his assassinator was probably influenced by the media about him, about Charlie Kirk not being a good person, which incentivized him to most likely shoot and kill him. Things like this in the media and in freedom of speech is what
Mhm.
scares me the most. That is my opinion on that.
Yeah, that I could also relate, is because I think when it comes to how political ideology is expressed, I think it's really important to be really sensitive to how it's portrayed, because many people don't like people take things on different perspectives. So we have to like make sure that we utilize media in a way that portrays it it portrays the topic to be more of a topic that everybody could approach to, not just a topic that's not like unapproachable, but something
Yeah.
that's more approachable. And I think that like as we move on from this like event, even though it's like a month ago, I think that we should like be able to like utilize like ways to like again, I think one of the cases actually I could relate this to is the George Floyd case. The George Floyd case was a very severe case, right? George Floyd was killed, brutally assaulted by a police officer, and it's very disheartening because number one, like this man was innocent. He didn't do anything, but the media portrayed this, but the media portrayed this thing to be very severe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the way to approach this is to, number one, to accept and to balance both perspectives, right? There's people that agree with the George Floyd, like brutally being assaulted, which is really bad, and there's other people that believe that don't believe in the assault on George Floyd. But we have to come with the objective perspective on
Mm-hmm.
why this is the case.
Mm-hmm. And you spoke about utilizing the media, and I believe that with the George Floyd case, media utilized that case into the protest of the BLM movement, right? And
Mhm.
counterpart to the BLM movement, there was the ALM movement, All Lives Matter movement. We see two different ways that media is being utilized, right? Um, Part of it is the media utilizes horrific images and events that can trigger our emotional response to go forth with that movement. My my
Yeah.
my curiosity leads me to is, how does the government utilize media? Because I don't know if you remember this about the situation with the late night host, um, Jimmy Kimmel, I believe, was silenced and shut down due to the political use of
Oh
their
yes,
authority, right?
correct.
They use the media in order to silence us, right? When media is supposed to be a form of expression and free thought. What are your thoughts on that?
Different types of ways that the government uses the media, right? Digital media. There's newspapers,
Mm-hmm.
physical media. There's like so many different ways. But most of the one tool that the government uses is social media.
Mm-hmm.
Social media is able to create tons of CEO optimizations for um, for basically like any influencer. So basically, the way government uses this is basically to grow and to attract new new people to the platform, and they do it through campaigns. And you, by using those campaigns, like online campaigns, advertisements, they're able to attract people, citizens, to uh, to buy into their idea,
Mhm.
basically. So it's through advertisements
Yeah.
that the government uses.
You know, it's funny that you say campaigns, especially since we have the election coming up.